Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Hey, look, today I have a treat for you. We're going to talk about two stocks. One stock for which I did a paper grade trade. Want to show you that, show you how we break down a trade. We talk about it, so maybe you learn something. But I'm also going to show you my PENN trade for which I wrote a 30-day covered call, knocking down some serious coin. Now, if you remember from my last video, I did a 3-day PENN trade. I was going to make over $1.70 per share in a 3-day window if my shares weren't taken away. I was going to make a total of $758 if my shares were taken away. Now, that was a simple trade, and it turns out PENN did not finish above my strike price. But that's okay. My shares don't sit. We put them to work, and guess what? They're knocking down some serious jack for the next 28 days. I'm going to show you that. So let's go ahead and get to this because this is exciting. And at the very end of this video, I have something for you. You got to stick around. For some of you, you might be surprised. Now look, if any of this interests you, you're interested in making guaranteed monthly income. Hell, maybe you're interested in making weekly income, just like I did last week. Hey, look, I need you to subscribe to the channel. It's right there. It's free. I come back every week, show you timely and relevant covered call trades, showing you how I'm knocking down some $76,000 for 2020. That's right. I haven't updated the website. My year is off the charts. And hey, look, if you like this video today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Now, as you can tell, I'm already fired up because I got a couple topics I want to show you. It is absolutely motivating and inspiring when I make great trades. And it's motivating and inspiring me when I hear that you're making great trades. I get emails all the time, right? I get people commenting on Facebook. I get people commenting on YouTube. But I get people emailing me their life journey to financial freedom. And here's the deal. 100% unsolicited. You know, I do what I do, but all I ask you to do, if you have a little bit of success from watching my videos, just let me know. And if you go to my website, cptdashboard.com, my email's right there. I'd love to hear how my videos impact your trading. And I'll tell you, I have heard stories over the years that would actually bring tears to your eyes. I mean, I've literally had a couple guys tell me that my videos help them get their financial house in place, convince their better halves that there's a better life on the other side. And I'll tell you what, when you hear those stories, it blows my mind. And I do appreciate when you let me know. That's why I always ask you to bang that like button because it motivates me to see when you guys let me know you like what I'm doing. Now, I do have a couple things for you today. We're going to talk about my paper trade grade. We're going to talk about my new series of videos coming out called the Paper Trade Grade. We're going to come out once a week. I'm going to show you a paper trade for which a premium member submitted. We're going to talk about the breakdown. And why I want to do this is for a couple reasons, okay? Give me a little runway here to explain this. One, I want to show you what an active trader thinks when he's putting together what makes a good trade. You know, I always talk in my videos, we need to follow the golden rules of cover call writing and all that blah, blah. But here's the deal. I'm going to show you what I'm thinking through these paper trade grade videos. And for you and me, it provides ideas. When folks email me their paper trades, not only do I get to see what they're thinking, what they're seeing, I get to have ideas for my next great cover call trade. Now, with that said, paper trade grades are meant to start our research, right? I will never, ever just go out, buy a stock, write a cover call based on what anybody says on YouTube. And they should not do that from me either. They need to do the research. We need to do our due diligence because it's our hard-earned money we're putting to work. Right? I always ask myself right before I do the trade, if I'm sitting there with my wife and I have to explain why I'm in this bad trade, right? This trade for which I'm left holding the bag, I need to explain to her why we're in the trade. And the only way we do that is if we do our research. Okay? So that's very important. So I want you to understand when I show you these paper grade trades, it's not meant for you to just go out and willy-nilly and buy it. That would be stupid. But we're not stupid here, okay? We're here to up the game. I want you to use them as ideas. Now, one of my premium members submitted this one on AMD, and I'll tell you what, it's a cash secure put, and I actually like it. It's 22 days out, and I absolutely love the premium we're getting here. I love that it's 22 days out. The stock has moved higher, and we can actually play some support lines here. That's what I love to do with a cash secure put. I've told you time and time again, I love to use a cash secure put not necessarily to obtain shares lower, like all the gurus will tell you use a cash secure put for. I use it for my quick cash printing machine. Love using the cash secure put when a stock starts to fall. I then pick that strike price that's about 10 points lower. I'm able to pick up some little crumbs, but you know what? At the end of the day, if I'm playing the support line right, chances are the stock won't get there. I'll get to keep the entire premium. That is another crumb, and that's what I've been doing over the past 4 years. Absolutely love using the cash secure put that way. Now, if we're assigned the shares, hey, we better have a plan, and it better be a great stock we're doing it on, because we're going to have to hold the shares, right? Somebody is going to assign us their shares. So in this case of AMD, I actually like it. AMD is trading near all-time highs, and a lot of people think it's going to go higher. Well, it has peeled off a little bit. Now, when this paper grade trade was submitted, you can see right here, AMD was trading for almost $87. He was going to write an 82 strike, get paid $3.70. Now, that's a cash-on-cash percentage gain of 4.5% in 22 days. That's what we're looking for. Even the covered call gurus will absolutely approve of that kind of cash-on-cash percentage gain in a 22-day window. We're not talking some fly-by-night company here. We are talking about AMD, one of the biggest chip makers on the planet. Look at this setup. It's a very good setup on 100 shares. And I'll tell you what, I'm liking this right now. Now, as I continue down on this paper trade, I'm looking at this, right? I'm going to go out and use my spreadsheets for which I've created a template where I literally take the company symbol, put it in my template, I run some formulas, and it outputs all the data for which I need to make a very intelligent decision. AMD is turning out to be a pretty good deal. Here's the problem. When I run those numbers, look what happens. If you remember, his expiration was this October 30th, 2020. Now, when I ran the numbers, earnings was going to be between October 27th and November 2nd. Now, I think Earnings Whispers shows it at October 27th. He believes it's November 2nd. So depending on where this earnings report is at, we're in the danger zone. But let's talk about that earnings real quick. Let's talk about if earnings is October 30th or if earnings is October 2nd. If earnings is October 27th, think about this for a second. Stocks move based on events, right? So every 3 months, companies will announce their earnings. This is the danger zone for companies. I've told you in the past, I've traded great companies like Starbucks and Nike, and they will move some 10% on an earnings report, plus or minus. This is very important to note that these are the biggest companies on the planet, and they're still moving 10%. Okay, so nothing comes without risk. If earnings is October 27th, his strike price is October 30th, that is in the danger zone of an event that could swing this stock some 10% either way. So what I told him was this. I would go back 3 earnings reports on the charts, and I want you to dig in, see where they hit their number or they missed their number, and I want you to see where the stock traded. Based on that determination, that's going to be your risk tolerance, right? If AMD keeps hitting and hitting and hitting, and the stock keeps going higher and higher and higher, that's one thing. But if the stock misses, man, because this stock market is priced for perfection, if they miss, what's going to happen? And I'll tell you what, my guess, and this is what I told him, it could fall some 10%. With that said, if earnings is November 2nd, his expiration is October 30th. So now look at the dynamic here. As AMD is moving higher, remember, AMD is a microchip company. NVIDIA is killing it, and all the microchips, even Intel, who got kicked in the ribs 2 months ago, is off the mat and back in the game. So microchips are moving higher. largely because of NVIDIA, but AMD has been killing it with the numbers. Now, if November 2nd is the earnings, this is before his expiration. So what happens is that event isn't as impactful. And to be honest with you, if the market's trading sideways to higher, it could just go higher and higher and higher. And then there's no impact, right? He's not going to be assigned the shares. He keeps the full premium. Life is good. The stock does what it does because he's out of the trade October 30th. Earnings happens November 2nd. The prior scenario was he's in the trade October 27th. Expiration is October 30th. See how that works? We have to make sure we understand when companies have events. Now, looking at the chart, AMD is doing exactly what I love to see. It'll rally higher. It'll pull back to that support. I don't know if you can see that, but see that blue line there of support? It bounced off of that blue line for a couple trading days. Heck, that may even have been a couple weeks. And now it's going higher. Like I said, it's probably going higher because NVIDIA has been rocketing higher, and these things all trade in sympathy unless you're Intel. With that said, I'm in Intel. I'm feeling it. But AMD is not. And this thing rallies higher. And you notice you have this little resistance line here. Do you see this line right here? And in fact, I'm going to draw the line. See the line right here? With that resistance, it has peeled back to what might be support. Now the question is it going to break out of that resistance? Is it going to break above that resistance line? Now, if it does, life is good. That becomes the new support in the short term. But you have to understand, this is 22 days. The markets are moving higher, but we have an election in the next 27 days as well. We're going to have some major news events. So if we're working with options in the next 30 days, we're going to see volatility that might not normally be in the stock market. So there's a lot of things to consider here. But I like how this is setting up because AMD is bouncing off of these support lines and it could be going higher. And if his goal is to just collect that cash secure put crumb and not be assigned the shares, this might be a good play. If he wants the shares, chances are he's not going to get them. But with every trade comes risk, and this thing could fall off. Now, I'm going to show you the chart right now because it has fallen off just a little bit, and it changes the dynamics of this trade. Now, I'm getting long on the video. I still want to show you my PENN trade, and I want to show you something at the very end of this video, so I'm going to speed it up here. But I think you get the point. Using my Keltner channel indicator, you could tell, man, that midline is right there. And one thing I like about that midline is if it's trading under the midline. Remember, the Keltner channel is a stocks trading range. If it's trading under the midline, that's a good low entry purchase for me, right? If it's trading above the midline, it could be a little overbought. And I really have to be conscious that it's trading high in its range. Now, AMD has been trading on that midline. It's been pretty rock solid. Got some news here. I'm not sure what it was, but it has been trading higher above the Keltner channel mid. So that's a little frothy for me. So looking at the chart, it has pulled back. And look at that. It's back at that midline. That tells me Wall Street might be looking at that midline as support. And sure enough, we catch a little bit of a rally off of that midline. So I'm going to use the Keltner channel mid as support. Now, this is a year-to-date chart. I guess I could get a little bit tighter, but that's what I'm looking for. Where is Wall Street going to support this stock? And that Keltner channel mid is going to be a good one for me. Now, do you remember where AMD was trading when he submitted this paper trade grade? Yeah, it was trading at about $87. He would have placed that trade when it was trading at $87, collected to $370, and just one day later, it fell off some 4%. A strike price, I think, was $82.50. And if he didn't want to be assigned the shares, right, he's using the cash secure put as a pure premium play. Well, now he's in danger. But again, he has 22 days, so we don't need to do anything right now. It's very similar to my Rocket Mortgage trade, where at 25, I did the cash secure put. I got $3.20, and Rocket Mortgage fell as low as $19.80. Everybody emailing me saying, what are you doing? I had 30 days to think about it. And Rocket Mortgage has rallied back to 23x. We have time. We have patience. I've always told you selling premium gives us that built-in patience in a trade that swing traders and day traders just don't have. Right? I have to hold, for the most part, I have to hold this trade for 22 days, and it gives me that patience, and it lets me see the stock trading. Right? I've said this many times as well. That patience gives us that ironclad stomach to handle when stocks move in 4 and 5% swings. So this guy here doesn't necessarily have to worry, even though AMD is down 4% in one day. He's got 22 days. This thing can continue to fall, but as long as it rallies back to that 2250 number and finishes one tick above it, he won't be assigned the shares. So I'm going to leave you with this. Do understand, there's risk in every single trade. Somebody can paper trade grade your trade, but look, things change, man. And that could be the market just ebbing and flowing like it does, right? AMD is no different than any other stock in today's stock market. Now, I gave this AMD trade a very good 7-8 out of 10 grade. You know, we still have that major issue of earnings, so I can't give this a gem mint 10. I'll tell you what, I do like the trade. You know, we're looking at a $370 crumb on 100 shares. That's 4.5% in this 22-day window. We know the risk, right? That earnings report is going to be the event that shocks this stock. And I'll tell you what, if you go to the Yahoo summary page and you scroll down, they have met earnings over the past 4 quarters, and it looks like they might do it this time. But hey, with that said, this is a paper trade grade to start your research. And I'll tell you what, if this interests you, start your research by going back to my website, cptdashboard.com, click the upgraded dashboard, and see if anything there interests you. I have a 1 free month offer. All right, I'm going to show you my pen trade. Give me a few more moments of your time. I'm going to show you my new pen trade. Love this one. Remember, last week, about midweek, I did a video where I talked about for 3 days, I could collect 750 some bucks. Well, that was if my shares were taken away. And if you remember, I bought Penn at about 68x. And when the stock was trading at 69x, I wrote the 70 3-day covered call, collected $1.70. That's for 3 days, man. That's insane because I always try to collect that 1% for a weekly covered call. This was for 3 days, collecting some 3+% if my shares were taken away. Well, the shares weren't taken away, and as you can see, Penn is nowhere near my $70 strike price. But see, that doesn't deter me. I know what I'm getting into. Yeah, I did a 3-day trade, and yeah, I had expectations of my shares being taken away, and washed my hands of it, but now I'm in the trade. And this is what I always try to reinforce. We do our homework, we get our financial education, we do our homework, we have our experience, so when we do a trade that might not grade well if John actually had to do a paper trade grade last week on that pen trade. But with that said, I'm in the trade, man. I have to manage it because I'm accountable to it, regardless of how it would have graded. So when Penn on Friday was trading around this 64.70 price, in fact, I think it was trading right around 64.99, that option for which I got paid $1.70, well, it's now trading literally for 1 penny. Now, there's a couple hours left in the trading day, so I decide to pay 1 penny to take that obligation off the board, right? I had 300 shares sitting there. Somebody could buy my shares for $70, and they're not going to do that. But it's sitting there under obligation for 1 penny. So I went in and bought it back for 1 penny. Now the shares are unobligated. They're sitting there. It's time to write a covered call. And that's exactly what I did. Let me show you on my total income tracker what I ended up doing. So as you can see right here, the new trade is on, and I'll tell you what, it is for November 6th. It's not a weekly trade. I think it's about 28 days. When the stock was trading at 64.60, I went ahead and wrote the 69 strike, 3 contracts, got $4.40. Notice if my shares are taken away, it looks like I'm going to make $2,640. That's not the case. Remember, I bought this at 68.80. When I calculate a trade, I always calculate my percentage gains based on where the stock is trading now, not my cost basis. Why? Because I do so many trades when I own a stock. I want to know what the numbers are at the point of entry, not my cost basis. Because my cost basis could be considerably less. I want to know where I'm at the point of entry on the trade. So I'm not going to collect 13.6%. But I will collect a juicy premium over $1,300. And I'll tell you what, that is 6.8% cash on cash. I'll take that every day of the week. Oh, and if you didn't notice, I'm back in DraftKings. Did a nice cash secure put, man, starting another wheel. You know that video's coming soon. Hey, look, I'm going to leave it right there for this week. I'll tell you what, absolutely love the paper trade grade. I love getting those fresh ideas. Those ideas are fresh. It motivates me and gets me in the game. You know, I've talked about this too. You know, sometimes the stock market just doesn't get the juices flowing, and you have to stay motivated. For every day I'm not in the stock market, I feel like I've missed an opportunity. So these paper trade grades are great because it gives me a look into your world. I get to see what you're seeing. And to be honest with you, when I run that paper grade trade, it ups my game because I really get to dig into the numbers. And from the feedback I've been getting, it's upping your game. I want you to subscribe to the channel because you know I'm going to talk about it right here. And if you like this video today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. And what we're doing is this. I am offering a special where if you sign up, you get 1 free month. But here's the deal. This has gotten so popular and so time consuming. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to up the monthly. Trust me, I never would have thought it would have been as popular as it has. So what I'm going to do is this. Coming soon, I'm going to up the monthly to $29.95. But see, we don't do that without adding value. So that $29.95 is going to include some Zoom conference calls and some coaching opportunities. But that's not there just yet. But here's the deal. If you sign up now, you keep your price. You won't have to pay the upgraded price when that happens. Be safe, be healthy, most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.